Gail King wipes away a tear as she rides along with Katy Perry and 4 other fellow astronauts to the launch pad. One by one, they ring a bell. Gail, who has a fear of flying, looks terrified.
This is overcoming a wall of fear, a barrier. I think it's going to be cathartic in so many ways for her.
The all-woman crew joined hands in prayer. Then it's time to climb into the capsule.
Go for lunch?
Yeah, baby, go for lunch. My favorite words.
At 9:30 a.m., the rocket soared into space.
Passing through 80,000 feet, 1,300 miles per hour.
Oprah sobbed.
Oprah watching her best friend go to space.
She and Katy Perry's fiance, Orlando Bloom, comforted each other. The women experienced 4 minutes of weightlessness. Katy held up a daisy for the camera.
They are floating, they are weightless, they are experiencing zero-G for the very first time in their lives.
They were overwhelmed by what they saw.
Oh, the moon! You guys, I have to tell you, look at the moon! Look!
Then it was time to return to Earth.
Welcome back to Earth.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos had a little oops moment, face planting while inspecting the capsule. His fiancée Lauren Sanchez was the first one out. Gail raised her hands to the heavens.
I just have to have a moment with the ground.
She got on her hands and knees
Let me just appreciate the ground for just a second.
and kissed the earth. Katy raised her single daisy toward the sky. She took the flower to space to honor her 4-year-old daughter, Daisy, who called out to her mom during the landing.
Just seeing.
Katy! The pop star also kissed the ground.
This experience is second to being a mom.
At a press conference, Gail was asked about that terrified look on her face.
That moment, I was so afraid. I just wanted to get into my seat. I just wanted to get inside the capsule and sit down. I never in a gazillion years thought I could do this.
All right, I don't believe this has anything to do with the average citizen, average everyday person. These people are the inner circles of millionaires and billionaires, and so they're clearly sending a message to them. And you got to understand the mindset of your opponent when playing chess. Study the moves that they've been making. It helps you anticipate what they will possibly do in the future. And so, one thing I think we all agree on in terms of what the millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires have been focused on is maintaining their status, because that gives them power. They control everything through that. They control the government. And the government's function is supposed to be to serve you. But instead, they serve the powerful. They've been doing that for thousands of years. Throughout this time, they've told you lies, manipulated you, put fear in you. Pinned you against each other. They have done the same thing nonstop to maintain but they have, at your expense, while keeping you focused on race, gender, house, cars, clothes. And so you can pretty much anticipate that that's not going to change. So just the idea, right? Why would they be? Of course, the people that do this little space thing is trying to make money or whatever. But I don't think that's necessarily their main concern when it comes to trying to encourage millionaires and billionaires to travel up into their space station and stuff like that. Because you can imagine where they're heading, right? They're gonna be able to buy rooms inside the space station or something like that. They're gonna have their little parties and all type of stuff exclusively for them. But the main thing I think the people need to be concerned about the future is out there. Because this planet, and I know I'm thinking way out, right? But one thing about space, that's a safe place for millionaires and billionaires. Because the only people that can get up there are the people that they control. They're safe from bombs. So they ain't fearing no wars. And if you think about it, that's really been the only thing stopping them from taking things too far. So if they now have the option to live outside of this planet whenever they feel necessary, do you think that that would be something they do to run from problems? Or do you think that's something they'll do in preparation for problems that they're going to create? Either way, you know that they don't care about you and they'll do anything for power and control. So I don't believe it's too far-fetched to say that if they're living in that space station or on the moon or wherever they plan on going with this, while everybody else is down here on this planet, I don't think it goes too far-fetched to say that they will become a whole lot more aggressive in their tactics to control everything. Because they're not fearing war anymore. And when you bring it back to America, and you go back to the times of that civil war we had, North versus the South, and what that was about. They tell you that it was about freeing the slaves, but it came out that that was not necessarily the case. What was really going on, from what I heard, is that the North was jealous of the wealth the South was accumulating because of slavery. And that was threatening their position of power. And so they went to war. The North weaponized the black people against the South to retake control. Now, when you fast forward to our recent presidency, Trump versus Biden, who represents who in that situation? Biden, the Democratic Party, they pretty much, from my perspective, represent the North, the people that are weaponizing black people, because their actions clearly show that they don't care about the people. For real, for real. They're all about control and power. The black people that they have around them, for the most part, are under their control. It seems the only thing they really care about is the rich and powerful. Because when you think about the deals they had going with China, over giving to the rich and powerful over there, it's like they're catering to all the powers of the world over their own people. And then Trump come in representing the South. Wanting to do what's best for the country and those people that care about their country, right? They call them racist and all this type of stuff because those are the people, the people from the South, their history. That's who they represent. But I don't think it was necessarily, I don't believe what he was doing was necessarily about racism. I really believe he does care about the country. And so he understands the difference in what Biden and them had going on versus what he got going on. And I don't think a lot of people are really viewing it like that. I don't really think people are taking the history and putting it all together from this perspective. So if you're looking at it like that, Trump representing the South from those issues, because that's when they really started fighting each other. When they left other European countries and flooded the United States, killed all the Indians or corrupted or did what all they did to take over this land, they was working together up until the jealousies, the South versus the North. And that's where the divide happened among the white people in power. And I don't believe that division ever went away. I think that's what created the Democrat and the Republicans. The Republicans are about the people, about the country. And the Democrats claim to be about the people. But it's really a disguise. And it's all about building connections with the rich and powerful. That's just from my perspective. And so if this is the mindset your government has, they're not going to space for no reason. I mean, yeah, you can sit up there and say, oh, it's about to break through the technology and generating, it's growth for sure. But I mean, you got these movies out here, and all throughout history, movies have been known to really warn us of what's to come. And so you really gotta, you really can't ignore stuff like that. And so thinking back to our position today, where we're so divided as people, none of us really living with purpose because we're so caught up in this matrix. Got us focusing on all the wrong things. Don't really care about our kids' futures because ain't nobody doing anything to really shift the direction that we're heading in. And the only thing you can do is to reclaim your independence. I'm going to take it back to that again. You got to reclaim your independence. The only way you're going to shift the direction we're heading in terms of them, because this video signifies, this clip right here signifies the beginning of a move that's going to place you in checkmate on that chessboard. If they're up in space and they're not fearing wars, because that space station, they're building, it's building its own, it's building to be self-sustainable without the need of anything external. It's growing its own, they're going to grow their own food on there, do all that type stuff, right? They're not going to be concerned with dropping nuclear bombs on this planet like that, because all the resources they need, they can gather in space or wherever they need to. Not saying that they want to go that route, but they won't fear going that route. They'll be much more willing if that's what it takes to maintain control. And the only peaceful way to prevent that is for you people to reclaim your independence. That's bigger than race. I mean, everybody, you need to reclaim your independence. You need to grow your own food. Police your own communities. Learn how to build your own homes, all that type stuff that we once did for ourselves, because that's how they're controlling you. They do all this stuff for you, give you a piece of paper they call money, or they're trying to make it digital, just out of thin air, control you with this stuff. Saying that you do this for us, we give you this. It's actually worth nothing, but to me, to them, it gives them control over you. That's all it really is. Because a real, properly functioning society doesn't really have any use for money. Because a real properly functioning community is about the looking out for everybody. You do your part within the community, and you're able to maintain a roof over your head, food in the mouths of your family, and whatever else you want. When you're doing your part, healthcare, all that stuff is, supposed to have to pay for it. When you're actually a part of a community that cares about the members of its community, it's not going to charge you for no health care when you get sick. You're going to go to the doctor and they're going to take care of you. And we lost sight of that. That's how it was back in the times when we were in smaller groups. And so when I encourage people to go back to that, it's not about saying, hey, let's go to this community, just the 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 of us, and forget about the world around us. You still want to have those relationships, but when you're in a smaller community with your leadership representing you, and you have your independence, and you build relationships with the other communities around you, you're in a better organized and better controlled environment to manage what's going on. It'd be easier for the government to manage their jobs. I mean, we got all this police brutality and all this type stuff, police killing each other. You know why they do that? It's because they don't know you and they don't want to die. Don't matter what color you are. They're going to treat you like you're a threat to their life because they don't know you. They're not from your community. You're supposed to be policing your own community. The police that are policing the community should know the members of the community and actually have some type of relationship with the people. That way, the people within that community are less likely to commit crimes against each other. And if you're separated from other communities, you don't have to interact with them unless it's about business. So, as long as everybody doing good business, there's no reason to fight amongst each other, right? And the ones that show that they're greedy, their reputation, they'll be building that reputation. It's like if this community is growing a certain type of food that other communities can't grow, and they build some type of trade network, right? And one of those communities that's providing something gets a little shady in their business dealings, right? And this is the age of technology. This isn't the old time, so all this stuff can be recorded. It's digital through the computers and internet and stuff like this. And so you can easily be like, yo, this community did this community did that. And that goes on record. Their reputation, they can't get away from that. So people are much more likely to do better business with each other. If y'all follow where I'm going with this. So when I say separate, that don't necessarily mean divide in the sense of just completely cut yourselves off to the rest of the world. It just means separate and get more organized in a way that's going to allow you to manage yourselves better and allow you to get control, regain control, and regain your independence from these rich and powerful people that are trying to control you, because you're completely dependent on them doing everything for you. You can't call yourselves adults if you're dependent on these people to provide for you. Because it's one thing if they actually cared and you set that task for them to do. But why would you why would you give strangers that type of power over you when they clearly let you know they have no morals? And you never decided to, say, I can't trust these people with the food that they putting on the table for my children. I can't trust these people with the health care. I can't trust these people with the education. Can't even trust these people with a career, because if I go outside of what they want me to do, I lose it all. And oftentimes, it's not a morality thing for them. It's they'll get rid of you just for you not allowing them to control you. And so yeah, understand, man, this video, this going to space thing is not about the average day people. And I don't believe it's about generating money for people to do. I believe it's about them getting millionaires and billionaires comfortable with the idea of living up in space, because that's going to put them in a position, a much more powerful position over the people. Because there's nothing much you could really do up there. If they got all the millionaires and billionaires, the millionaires will probably be the workers. Billionaires will probably be the bosses. Trillionaires will probably be the leaders up there. That's the type of system it'll be. And everybody down here is just livestock, as we always been. We don't matter. We expendable. We just something that they gotta feed every day in order to maintain whatever benefits they get out of us. And so, gotta separate people. Can't say nobody ain't been warning you. It's the age of information here. Technology allowed us to be able to communicate all over the world on the click of a button. There's no more excuses for not doing right by your children.